Hello there. Very recently, I experienced a situation where I was embarrassed in public. However, it taught me a powerful lesson and it gave me a powerful message on to how to do things in the future. And I wanted to share it with you. It taught me how to do the right thing at the right time instead of doing the right thing at the wrong time. I was out and about with my older daughter and it was a Sunday and we have our time together on Sundays. So she said, I really want to go to a cafe and spend time with you there. Okay. So we had to go to the store right before that, which was not too far from the cafe. So we made our shopping and we loaded our car up. And then she said, I want to go to the cafe. I was debating whether to go or not because it was getting late, but I did promise time with her. And we go into the cafe, we order what we order, and we sit together, hoping to have a good time. And lo and behold, approaches a man. Now, I want to tell you that the time was around 9:15, 9:20. It wasn't terribly late, and it wasn't so early. So here I was having a cup of coffee with my daughter, and she had a donut, and we had a good time. It was after a few minutes that this man approached us. He was a middle-aged man. I wasn't sure where he was from, wasn't sure, and it doesn't really matter. And he stands there with his arms like this, and he's looking at me and my daughter. And he says, you must be a single mother. And I looked at him and I said no, and I looked away. And I really tried not to look rude, not to look mean. I just had a neutral look. I really hope I did. And just looked away and was talking to my daughter again. He goes, this is no place for you. You have a family. You should be at home. You should be at home enjoying your children. You should be at home enjoying your family. You shouldn't be here. And he basically said it out loud. I think there was a number of people already in the cafe. He basically humiliated me, embarrassed me. I felt attacked. I felt judged. I felt very nervous. And I was like, we just got here and now I have this feeling. And my intentions were so pure to my daughter, to spend time with her. And I felt so uneasy and nervous. And it was late. So I said, I just don't feel comfortable being here. And then he started speaking in Hebrew. And I don't know where he was from. He may have been Jewish, may have not been Jewish. It doesn't matter. But it was a message. And yes, I was shaken. I was nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then soon afterwards, he left. But it was interesting that I didn't see him come into the cafe. Not that I was looking around. And I didn't see him sitting. He just kind of popped up. And I was like, okay. So yes, I was nervous. Yes, I wanted to get out. But my daughter was very persistent. Mommy, let's spend time together. We did. And after half an hour or so, we left. So after a little time, after a day or so, I really realized something. That I need to focus on the message and not the messenger. Was I doing the right thing? Yes, I was spending time with my daughter. Was I making a connection, a stronger relationship? Absolutely. Was I doing it at the wrong time? Perhaps. Now, the message that was given to me by the messenger wasn't the ideal way. Whenever we want to approach someone, especially those who we love, we want to do it in a very calm way, in a loving way, in a way where they won't feel attacked. Now, this person doesn't know me, and he's limited. He's limited in his tools, and I understand he was probably concerned. I don't know who he was. I don't know him. But I asked myself, are you out too late? And it was probably a yes. Were my intentions pure? Of course, they were pure. Will I go out that late again with my daughter spending time? Probably not. So I took it as a message from Hashem, our creator, that, you know what? You're sending the wrong message to people, that you are single, that you are available, and I'm not. And although my intentions were pure, I was not doing it the right way. So let's take this story and bring it into our lives in the future. Sometimes we want to talk to our husbands and our children, and we're doing the right thing because we are hurt, or we're teaching our children, which we should do, but we're doing it at the wrong time. For example, you're out and about with your kids and you're rushing them to get out of the house. In order for you to go someplace, you have to be there on time. And yes, you have to be there on time. And it's not a time to teach the kids right now. It's not the time. They'd rather get to the place later, but calmly. And yes, we need to gently tell them, let's go. We have to hurry. It's getting late. However, at this time, sometimes we take it so personally that we take this time to discipline them out of our emotions it's so important for us to be there on time. And it's honestly the wrong time. Disciplining should be when a child is able to receive. Because all they hear is noise. Noise, noise, noise. They feel that they're being attacked. They feel humiliated. They feel embarrassed. And this is the wrong time. You're teaching the right thing to be on time, but at the wrong time. The right thing at the wrong time. So the right way to approach a child is when they are receptive to us, when they're able to listen, when they're able to learn. And not every time do we need to teach them something, you know. Let's say we're upset at what our husband said to us. And yes, he hurt us. He hurt our feelings. But as my Rebbitzin says, Rebbitzin Estebela Schwartz, feelings are. Feelings are, they're feelings. And yes, they're important. But they don't need to be dissected and evaluated every single time. Is it the right time for me to talk to my husband right now if I'm upset at him? Let's see. There's 4 times when we really shouldn't be talking about anything. Even if they hurt us, we should look for the right time. So the 4 times are when they're frustrated and angry themselves. Maybe they're upset about something. Maybe something happened at work. So that's number 1. We don't want to talk to them about that at that time. When they're sleepy, when they're tired, and when they're hungry. So those 4 times, we do not want to talk to our spouse. We don't want to be talked to, no matter what we did, when we feel those emotions as well. When we're hungry, tired, angry, or sleepy. It's not the right time, even if the issue is important. And let's not take the message personally and say, oh, you don't care about me. You know, I haven't seen you all day and now you're sleeping. We really should carve out a time where we're both available, when we can talk about matters that are important. And yes, address our feelings, choose our battles. Not everything needs to be discussed. But these are really 2 situations in our lives, are with our spouse, with our children, and anybody else in our circle, where we, you know, let's say we're at work, and many times at work we may feel certain things, we want to discuss something, and it really has to be done at the right time. One of the things I do with my assistants, I'm a head classroom teacher, I teach special ed. I do with my assistants is every month I have a meeting with them about the pros and cons, what's happening, how can we grow, hear their suggestions. And every month I have a meeting, and I always tell them, you know, you can always have a meeting earlier, but we need to not discuss it in front of the students, in front of everyone else. But I do want to hear you. I think you're important. I want to address certain things, and we can grow. We can grow as a classroom. We could grow as a team, and that's what's important. So carving out a time, not in the midst of the situation or in the experience that you're in. So I hope may we merit to be able to have the wisdom to understand, to internalize, and to see how we can look at a situation and do the right thing at the wrong time. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming.